It's elementary, my dear Watson. Just the facts, ma'am. And other misquotations that give real fans a chuckle because they know such words were never actually spoken in the show.
I want to be the first person in human history to teleport himself.
So the heckler was foreshadowing then? Yeah, foreshadowing. This kid is a great cast for a young Miles Teller.
And if you could build the thing, which you can.
I've already built it.
And he has the wounds to prove it.
Is it next to your flying car?
Fantastic car!
Clobbering time.
This gives Ben a pretty decent reason to make that comic booky line his catchphrase. He's just making fun of this guy. I guess his brother? Hey, finally a Jewish Ben Grimm just like in the comics.
Go check on that fuss. You don't hit a kid.
You don't hit a kid, but you do send him outside armed with only a bat to investigate the potential thieves. But since he finds a new best friend, parental negligence win.
Hey!
Extremely obedient dogs. Any kid with that many N64s must be cool.
Yeah, I was just asking, what are you listening to?
Portishead.
You put a lot of faith in these kids.
He's not wrong. This is like the Muppet Babies version of the Fantastic Four. But who doesn't love the Muppet Babies? This jerk hates babies.
Think about it. The people running the earth are the same ones running it into the ground, so maybe it deserves what it's got coming to it.
At least Victor is honest about what he thinks. Nobody should really be that surprised when he gets all doomy.
Dr. Doom over here.
Haha. Four Tops. I won't pretend like I recognize this song, but I was hoping for a connection and there was one. That's a fire flower.
What you need, buddy? Hey, John, Reed. Nice to meet you.
Making new friends. I could personally watch shots like this for hours. Is that a Lego cup? Give me that cup.
Ethanol kills brain cells.
Chemistry lesson.
Unless we go first.
While I don't endorse making life-changing choices while intoxicated, it's a good enough reason for these three super intelligent kids to make the decision to go. We're about 40 minutes into this film, and other than a few strange-looking Sue Storm wigs, I don't have too many complaints about this movie. Everything is shot beautifully, and the performances have been great. I keep waiting for the switch to the train wreck this ends up being.
I made it.
We all know who Dr. Doom is, but they've done a decent job of keeping him on the line between being just an arrogant, selfish, self-serving, angsty kid and a straight-up villain. His slow burn to evil contrasts well with Reed's chipper team-building spirit.
We did it.
I need you to manually override the re-entry, okay?
Okay, I got it.
Manually override the re-entry! Get down all the garbage matches on the tension level!
So, in this version of the Fantastic Four, they got flied? I'm not sure anyone asked for it, but here's your dark origin story for the Fantastic Four. Yep, that's an appropriate response. Wow, and gross. A realistic Mr. Fantastic. Muscles and tendons all stretched. Not rubbery like past incarnations. And the sheer terror that someone who is learning their likeness would be going through is captured perfectly.
Where are my friends?
Man, Whiplash was so good. I'm giving Miles Teller a bunch of wins for being awesome. This better not derail his career. This Human Torch is sick. It just looks real. I give them credit for jumping ahead. We did just sit through half of the movie for another origin story, but at least we don't have to suffer through the getting used to my new powers montage. They're there, they're suited up, they're powerful, we get it.
Have control over more than that world. We'll have control over ours.
Now, could someone please get me a fluffy white cat so I can pet it slowly in my lap?
Yes, we are.
Flame on.
Another realistic reason for the use of the catchphrase. He's actually turning the flame on with his suit.
Track him down, Susu.
Who was searching for him?
Friends to the end.
Any music, it helps me think.
We couldn't afford any Portishead, so how about the score from this movie Fantastic Four? One of the lamest superpowers has some pretty great uses.
Made it ugly.
Whoops, an email from Trank to Fox must have slipped into the script.
I got a good feeling, Stan.
Is this what we can expect from Stan Lee cameos from now on? If so, win.
Hey.
Great decision to let these two stay friends. Barely a moment of dismay. Also, hugging.
Victor?
Not possible.
He says while standing next to Stretchy and Fireball. Badass bad guy. This skulking around the facility scene is pretty great. Each member is more or less alone, and we see what happens when they don't work together. The last act has some amazing visuals. It's too bad it doesn't mean more to us at this point.
Alright! It's clobbering time!
Teamwork! Awkward win.
Ready? Yeah.
Avengers!
We get glimpses of what this movie could have been throughout, and I don't doubt that Josh Trank's original vision was going to be great, but as they often do, the studio mucked it up. It's as if Fox said, nah, it's not Avengers-y enough. Let's throw in a big energy beam and then we'll just use the same ending as Age of Ultron. Christopher Nolan changed the way filmmakers approach comic book movies, so we're going to be force-fed dark and gritty for the foreseeable future, but I really didn't hate how this one was handled or where it was going until it didn't. What's really sad is that the likelihood of seeing these 4 actors reprise their roles is remote now that Fox has said they're not planning a sequel anytime soon. So we'll be treated to another reboot origin story in about 5 years so they can retain the rights. And the actors were not the problem. In fact, other than a few mustache-twirly moments from our villains, the performances were great. They even did well with the reshoots, though forced some of it came off. Overall, I don't see this movie as the dumpster fire it was at the box office. Solid themes of teamwork juxtaposed with the selfish nature of Doom and the ever-greedy fill-in large organization, government, corporation, or whatever. Now, if we could only see them join the Avengers. Let's see if I can work this out. Miles Teller was in Whiplash with J.K. Simmons, who was in the good Spider-Man movies, which are owned by Sony, and there have been rumors that Sony is finally releasing Spidey to the MCU. So over the transitive property, Fox will be letting the Fantastic Four fight alongside the Avengers forthwith! It might get a little weird when Cap meets his replacement. Hopefully it won't create one of those same matter cannot occupy the same space time cop situations. Only time will tell.